guys, this is Kaylin with Venture Flow. This week we're going to do another little yoga flow, incorporating what we learned last week, crow pose, which helps us mentally move past our fears and also just be more trusting of ourselves, our mind, and our body. And so we're really going to get in and tackle this flow today. So first we'll start in a tabletop position. So stack your shoulders over your hands and your hips over your knees. And then just start to breathe and incorporate your breath and incorporate some organic movement. So you can roll out your back, maybe inhale to cow position and then exhale into cat. And your spine moves in 6 different directions, so you can just play around with that and just incorporate your breath into the movement. And then we'll do a cat and cow together. So inhale, cow. And then exhale, cat. And really puff up through your shoulder blades and push through your hands. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Then take an inhale and then exhale, downward facing dog. Let's press through all 4 corners of your palms and really incorporate pushing your tailbone to the ceiling and then gently bringing your heels towards the mat. And engage your core and let your shoulders really push into the mat. And just breathe here for a few breaths. Start to incorporate an Ujjayi pranayama breath, which is slight constriction in the back of your throat. And you can bend your knees, maybe walk out your dog if that feels good. And take one inhale. And then exhale, bring your left hand to your calf, your right calf. And if it's hard, you can come back to your hand and just try and breathe through that. Push through your right shoulder and push your palm into the mat. And you can start to rotate your spine. And then exhale your palm back down. Take an inhale and then exhale your right hand to your left calf. Again, push through your palm and use your shoulder to really continue that energy into the floor. And then exhale your palm down. Another few breaths. And then inhale your right leg high to the sky. And then exhale your leg through your hands to a low lunge. And then inhale your hands to the sky, crescent lunge. And continue to breathe. So knit your core together and bring your hands to the sky and draw your shoulder blades down your back. Maybe sit an inch lower. And come back to your breath. And then one more inhale. And then exhale, warrior 2. Pivot your back foot so it's perpendicular to your front foot. And find a 90-degree angle with your ankle up to your knee. You can rotate your chest to the side and then bring your gaze out your front hand. And continue to breathe. Breathing will help your body and your mind find a more relaxed state. And then dig in through the knife edge of your back foot, and then inhale, reverse warrior. Bring your right hand to the sky, and find a stretch in your right side body rather than bringing it down to the back. Find your breath and sit an inch lower in your front leg. Take one inhale, and then exhale, low lunge. Another inhale, and exhale, forward fold. Find a generous bend in your knees and focus on elongating your spine more than anything. Let your head hang down towards the mat. Maybe visualize stress falling out your spine, through your neck, and out the top of your head. Then take an inhale, halfway lift. Bring your hands to the tops of above your knees or below your knees. Engage through your core. And then exhale, forward fold. And then inhale to chair pose. So bring a sliver of space in between your heels. And bring your hands to the sky and sit back and low. Knit your core together to avoid collapsing in your low back and draw your shoulder blades down your back. And then sit an inch lower. And come back to your breath. And exhale, drinking bird. Bring your arms back. And then maybe try and play with coming onto your toes. And inhale back to chair, and exhale, forward fold. Take one more inhale, and then exhale, gorilla pose. Toe heel your feet to the outsides of your mat, and then bring your hands underneath your feet so your palms are face up. You can massage out your wrists a little bit, bend your knees, and let your spine elongate. And then when you're ready, toe heel your feet back together. Then we're going to try crow pose. So bring your hands out in front of you, about a foot or so in front of your toes, and start to lift up through your tailbone. And then bend your front arms and place the backs of your knees onto the backs of your triceps. Start to play with your weight a little bit. And you've made it to crow pose. You can lift one leg and the other. And then when you're ready, come out. Come to a high plank. And flow through high to mid plank or onto your knees. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And come back to your breath here. Maybe if you didn't give crow pose on that side a shot, maybe you can incorporate coming past your fears to try it on the other side. So lift your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Bring your right foot in between your hands. And inhale, crescent lunge. Bring your hands to the sky. Scissor your hips together so they're both facing the front. And draw your shoulder blades down your back. And press up through your back heel on your right leg to really engage through this back leg. And come back to your breath. Our minds love to freak out when it gets hard. So let your breath control your mind. One more inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Rotate your right foot so it's perpendicular to your left. And rotate your chest to the side and find the gaze out the front. And go like this with your shoulders. Take an inhale up and exhale them down your back. Really find the energy coming out both sides, your left hand and your right hand. Maybe sit an inch lower. Inhale, reverse warrior. Bring your left arm to the sky and draw your left shoulder down your back so you can find that side body stretch. Engage through your core. Maybe rotate your chest more to the side. Just a few more breaths. Take an inhale and exhale, low lunge. One inhale, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shins or to your thighs. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Sit back and low, bring your hands to the sky. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Maybe lift up your toes, spread them out and set them back down. Make sure you can see your toes over the cliff of your knees. One more inhale, and exhale, drinking bird. And lift up, engage through your triceps. Maybe try and sit a little lower, and then inhale, chair. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, gorilla pose. Toe heel your feet to the outsides of your mat. Bring the bottom of your hands underneath your feet. Maybe rock from side to side. And come back to a more resting breath here. And then toe heel your feet to touch. And then exhale, crow pose. Give it a shot. You don't need to come up off of your feet. Just embrace going through fear. So place your place your knees onto your triceps and just play with the weight a little bit. And find your gaze about a foot in front of your hands and puff up through your shoulder blades and bring your toes to touch in the back. And trying to straighten your arms maybe. And then exhale down. Come to a high plank. Move through your chaturanga, high to mid plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come back to your breath. Maybe slow it down a little. And then come back down onto your knees and come up to the top of your mat and bring your hands behind right above your tailbone and exhale into camel. So find your gaze and then trace your gaze up to the ceiling, up to behind you, and just press up through your upper back and press through your chest rather than your lower back, and use your hands as support on your lower spine. Maybe send some love out through this posture. This posture really opens us up from the chest and all aspects of our life. And then exhale, come back down onto your feet. Move your legs out in front of you. Take one inhale and then exhale, seated forward fold. And you can bend your legs if that feels good, or straighten them. And focus on a straight spine. And you can bend your legs and then maybe roll out your spine. And straighten. And then exhale forward. Relax your spine. And roll up to seated and come back down to your back. And give yourself one final squeeze. And then exhale, Shavasana, let everything go. Let your body relax into the ground. Soften your shoulders into the ground and the rest of your body. Release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. And soften the place in between your eyebrows. And let your breath go. And if your mind wanders, bring it back. And just noticing where it went. And then on your right hand, think of 5 areas in your life in the past week that you've conquered fear. And if you don't come up with 5, that's okay. Maybe it's 3, maybe it's 1. They're all equally as valid. And then start to awaken your body, bring your breath back in. And wiggling your fingers and your toes. And then you can roll onto one side or the other, or just roll up to a seated position. And then bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, or just hands at heart center. Inhale your hands to your third eye center, the space between your eyebrows. And then exhale, Namaste. Thank you guys for joining in that flow today. I hope it really helps you guys get out there and combat and embrace your fears. And we'll be coming back next week with more meditations. And I was going to leave you guys with a quote that fear is just excitement without breath. So thank you.